Good afternoon, welcome back to another video. Today is week 17. I am filming a slightly different video this week when you will get the regular week 17 update later in the week. Stop pulling my hair, sausage. You were asleep a second ago. Where's this come from? I should just move the desk down a little bit. Now, I really want to talk to you about my breastfeeding journey because I have to start this video by saying fed is best. If you're here to watch this video to punish yourself for not being able to breastfeed for whatever reason that is, please leave right now. Stop watching. Life isn't worth punishing yourself based on someone else's journey. Every single baby, every single mum, every single journey is different. So please, if you're here to judge yourself, leave. I don't want you to watch this video. If you have any other reason, if you want to know what my journey is, if you want to know about just different people's breastfeeding journeys, if you've never breastfed before, I was in that situation in October. I'd never breastfed. I had downloaded courses, but how much use they were. So this is just my journey, raw, unfiltered. This is my journey. I've been very open and very honest about my breastfeeding journey. But I wanted to just compile it all into one space. If you're new here, she was born at 32 weeks. She had growth restriction, so she was 2 pounds 7 ounces when she was born, 1.1 kilograms. But I will link all that video in the corner that explains everything. We began expressing, so I'll go back another step. I began leaking about 3 days before we went for our scan. Now, we'd also had quite a lot of trauma in the family, a lot of stress, a lot of trauma. So I think personally that my body was getting ready to give birth. It knew it couldn't sustain the baby much longer. It needed to get her out. So it started releasing my colostrum. I didn't do any expressing of any of it. Then in the hospital, we weren't allowed to start collecting it until the day of my C-section. Yes, the day of my C-section, we started harvesting colostrum, as they call it. So hand expressing, and we got this tiny, tiny amount in a syringe. We are hand expressing. Look how much we've managed to get.
0.6 at the moment.
Off one boob. It's all very exciting. Okay. I'm still super nervous and I'm on an IV drip and still a slow dose of magnesium, but expressing with daddy's fun. Oh, the little thing rolled away. Once I'd had my C-section, I was in a room by myself and Mady was taken to the NICU unit in high intensity. She was put on a tube for tube feeding. Now, there was a suggestion at that point as to whether I should be using donor milk, but I instantly, as soon as I heard the word donor milk, knew that I didn't want to do that personally. I knew that my body was capable of making the milk that it needed to make, and therefore we were gonna try, and we were gonna try hard. At this point, we were still hand expressing, and that was not working for me at all. One of the pink ladies, as they call them, came in, which is like a breastfeeding nurse, to show me how to do it. And she got so much out, was just squeezing it out. I just could not do it myself. No matter how hard I tried, I could not do it. I still struggle to do it now. So I asked for a breast pump. I was wheeled in a little hospital grade breast pump and we started pumping milk. I was still only getting 10 ml probably of each boob every 2 hours, which was about the same that she was drinking. So daddy would do milk runs. We called him the milkman. He'd do milk runs in the middle of the night, deliver her milk. But very quickly, my milk came in. Look at that. I personally think that it's because when you're on NICU, this is just me and my body. Like I said, other people really struggle with their milk when they're on NICU. I think my body didn't know how much to create because it wasn't getting any communication from her on my boobs because there was no spittle exchange, there was none of that stuff. So it didn't know how much milk she was drinking or how much milk she needed, and therefore it overproduced. Also, it could smell all the babies around. It could smell all the babies around needing milk, drinking milk, having milk all at different times. And I think my body and its hormone production just lost its mind. And we were getting so much milk. So much milk. We nearly got a full bottle of milk. Wow. To the point where I was pumping and having to empty the pumps halfway through. So I would be I'd fill it up to 120, it'd start leaking. After 15 minutes, I'd have to then empty it and go back on and probably get another 30 off each boob. Like, there was so much milk. All of that was being frozen. So all of that milk is pretty much still in our freezer. We've probably used about 3 bags of it. There is so much in our freezer, which is why when I get later down the line and we finish this video, I'm okay with my milk supply dropping. Switched. Why are they so red? Why are they red? Anyway, switched to my hands-free pump today.
The pump?
A top. So cute. She's so little.
This makes the cutest noise. It sounds like a dinosaur. 130.
Oh my gosh, that's the most we've had.
130.
Do you remember the first time we were like that tiny little one bottle? We were like, we got 10 mil out of each boob.
I have to use 2 bits of stickies.
We have reached 2 bottle status on the milk.
2 bottle status.
It's 12:30 and I skipped a pump. I've just finished pumping. I'm actually using the Mom Cozy mobile ones, which seem to be working really well. I skipped a pump because I was with the baby. I'm gonna put them back in this bag, I think. I just need to empty it out. Wait there. Wait. I was with the baby and she's doing so incredibly well. She's moved up a room. I don't know what I've told you today because my brain doesn't work. Look at all this milk. This is the biggest haul we've had so far. 105 millilitres of one boob. So what was I saying? Yes, I went in to see the baby and we got her out. She had cuddles. She's wearing her first baby grow, like little vest, because they want to test her, see if she can keep her body temperature up to the right temperature. So let's hope she can. She is off her oxygen fully now. Just doing so well, the little sausage. So well. Right, we're moving rooms. She went onto the boob for the first time, which is why I skipped a pump. Oh God, my brain is all over the place. You have to apologise. I have to apologise for just the chaotic nature of this video right now. But I had to skip a pump because I'd have been going in just after pumping and then she wouldn't have been able to smell my milk. So I should have pumped at 7:30, then 10, then 12. But I skipped the 10. So I went straight from 7:30 till 12, which was just on the verge of being too long, which is why we've ended up with so much milk. She's only having, I think she's about 100, she's on 150 per kilogram and she weighs 1.1, so she must be 160, 170 mils of milk a day. So this should be enough for her for today, and then we're going to start freezing ours properly. Hi.
Did you milk run?
Milkman, yeah. I haven't put labels on them yet. I haven't labelled them, so I just finished. I am in the pump room, just doing a bit of pumping. It's so dark in here, it's dodgy lighting. But I'm coming in every 3 to 4 hours because I have such a huge amount of milk supply. If I do it 2 hourly, I don't want to over increase my milk supply. The baby's having about 250 mil a day and I'm making about 1.2, 1.3 litres a day. So hopefully Well, we're freezing it all. The freezer is literally rammed full of milk. Paula's coming to do a milk collection today, so that can go home and in the freezer, and it can be used for all kinds of different stuff. We're hoping I'll be able to donate some, but that's a whole process. See how we go.
I know you like mango, and I got
A big house in
a
it.
deer. This is hilarious.
I then went into the transitional care ward with Mady. Those 2 nights were the hardest 2 nights of my actual life, I would say. I'm yawning just thinking about it. It's about to start really raining. They were so hard that I slept at probably an hour over 48 hours because Mike wasn't allowed with me. It's a whole separate thing if you just watch my birth video. My milk took such a massive hit over that time period. She was trying to drink from me, failing. I hadn't ordered any nipple shields at this point. She was fully, therefore, off her tube and onto her bottle. So she's off her... No, my iPhone storage was full, so we had to do just a little pause there. But we're back to deleting my YouTube downloads. Where was I? I think I was saying that she was taking a bottle fully. She was off her feeding tube, which meant she could go home. She was one of the smallest the hospital have sent home, which was... I'm pretty proud of her for, to be fair.
Get a picture with Chantal as well, I reckon.
Since being home, I found the transition of feeding on demand rather than feeding every 2 or 3 hours as they were doing in NICU to be quite difficult. It turns out that she's kind of settled into an every 3 hour routine anyway. But when she was really little, I probably didn't feed her when she was hungry. And watching some of the videos back when editing them, I can see that now. Rather than just feeding her when she was hungry, I was like trying to hit the every 30-minute, every 3 hour thing that we were supposed to do for NICU. She also increased her milk really, really rapidly from coming out of NICU. So she was doing like 30 ml approximately every bottle when we were out of NICU. And she went up very rapidly within a week to about 120 ml a feed. My supply, when we were in transitional care, dropped so intensely to the point where I was worried that it was drying up completely. I used my Mum Cozy pumps and put it on Milk Boost, and I'm actually still using the 30-minute Milk Boost setting now. I think it works the best for me. And I did manage to get my supply back up again. It went back up, all the way back up again from so we were getting 1.2 litres. We went down to literally 300 ml, I think, one day. And then we went back up to probably 800-ish ml a day. Now, if she's feeding Alexa, what's 6 times 120?
6 times 120 is 720.
So that's where we've stayed there now. I have to quite heavily rely on my morning milk. So I'm going to film today, and I have already started filming today, a full day in the life of breastfeeding and how it looks up till this point. She still won't go on the nipple very well. She has been on a nipple shield, and we use the MAM nipple shields since leaving NICU. Now, the reason we don't do every feed on me is because Daddy does half of them, and because her journey has always been us tracking the amount of milk that she has, I still am doing that. I'm still very aware of how much milk she's drinking. And I think that that's what's helped her sleep through the night so soon, because I know that she's getting a really good amount of milk during the day and therefore isn't being hungry overnight. I would like her to have gone onto me directly. I really would like for us to be able to go out in public and it be really easy to feed her. Part of the issue is that she's still only £8. I think she's £8.13 today. My boobs are massive. There's a bit of a size difference and that she struggles with, and she has struggled with literally since she was born, because it's like, it'd be like us eating off like a giant donut. Like, imagine like a giant thing that's covering your whole face, having to put that whole thing in your mouth. I can understand why she struggles with it. Like, I get it. So she therefore takes the bottle really well. We know how much she's getting. It means Daddy can do some feeds. It means I know that my milk supply is okay. It is dwindling, and this is what's caused me to film this video, because I have started to notice a drop in my milk supply. It may be that I'm not drinking enough water, and that's what's making it drop. It may be stress related, it may be food related. Right now I don't know, but what I do know is that we have got litres and litres and litres of milk in the fridge, in the freezer, that needs using up within the next 2 months. Therefore, we are going to start giving her one of those per day. So I'm going to start defrosting one per day. And if that means that my milk supply drops to the point where it isn't keeping her up together, then we will increase the amount we take out of the freezer, or I will try and increase my supply by food. I'm really not precious about her going on to, I want to get to 6 months. My own personal goal is really to get to 6 months. The journey for us hasn't been easy. It's been crying, we haven't had any pain because she's not on me enough, so the shield stops that. But I have been crying, she's been crying, the public feeds have been so stressful. I can understand why people stop. Like, for me, being able to breastfeed a baby has been so intensely a goal of mine, and I might never be able to get to do this again, that I've pushed through every single bit of hardship, especially as she's so small, and I know that she needs my milk more than I need anything right now. So, and also we're in such a lucky situation that we do have so much in the freezer. It means we can do date night, and I can have a glass of wine, and we can dump that amount of milk and get some out of the freezer, which we've probably done 3 times. I think I've drunk 3 times, maybe 4. But it's just like such a small number of times that we've done that. It actually helps so much, like having the pressure off of having a freezer full of milk. If we ever have another baby, who knows what that journey will look like. But for right now, once we get to 6 months, I'm just going to see like where my mental health is at. Because me being healthy and being in a good mind space and being happy and being all of those things, I think is just as important as her milk from me. And I'm not any of those things right now. Like, I feel okay. I have my moments, and I especially have my moments when my milk supply is low. So some days I have been like, I think last night I hadn't pumped for 6 hours and I only got 30 off each boob. Like, that's really low for me. And so I have to say, well, there's no point allowing that to cause the stress when A, we've got so much in the freezer, and B, formula isn't going to hurt her. She can have a bottle of formula if she needs it, and she has had a bottle of formula in the past before we realised how easy it was to defrost the milk. We were like not defrosting the milk, thinking it was going to take 6 hours to defrost, when if you just put it in some hot water, it literally takes like 5 minutes. It's actually quicker than boiling the kettle and letting that milk cool down than it is to heat the frozen milk up. Overall, I think our journey so far, and actually editing week 10 or on week 17, it's probably going to be another few weeks, maybe even up to that 6 month mark when it's going live. So who knows where we'll be once this video goes live. I just know that right now, breastfeeding has been a huge challenge in ways that I had not anticipated it being, in ways that the oversupply was a challenge because there was milk coming out of me at every stage, all day, all the time. It was leaking out of me everywhere, constantly. Then you have the challenge of your expectations have been set by that level of milk, and when it stops, you feel like you're the problem. You feel like there's a punishment that needs to happen against yourself because you're not able to feed your baby, but you are able to feed your baby. Formula is still feeding your baby, like it's okay. Then there's the online hate, and I do have to address this here because no matter whether you are bottle feeding, breastfeeding, expressing, combo feeding, no matter what you're doing, there is somebody out there telling you that what you're doing is wrong. So even by saying I'm proud of myself for breastfeeding my baby, because I am, it's been damn hard. I'm so proud of myself for being able to do it. I am being told that I gloating. I have been told that I am bragging. I have been told that I am not being sensitive to other people's feelings. I was told by somebody that I was setting a gold standard to myself that I will never be able to continue. I was told that I'm selfish for sharing my breastfeeding journey. I was told that I should cover up, standard behaviour. All of the things that you can imagine. So what I really would like to remind you at the end of this video, especially if you've just had a baby, is that, again, every single journey and every single baby is just so different. You cannot compare yourself to this journey, especially if you haven't even been in NICU. Like, that was a bloody hell of a ride at the beginning, and I'm so grateful to my body for it producing that amount of milk at the start. But equally, it could have very, very easily and quickly have gone the other way. It could have very easily gone the way of my body not producing the milk because of the stress of NICU. So if your body has gone that way, it's okay. It's all okay. I'm going to roll this for the rest of the day and let you see what our breastfeeding is looking like right now. And I'm really, really interested to see what it's doing when I edit this video. Maybe I'll come in at the end and just give you a little update. Editing Emie, I'm asking you to film an update of what our breastfeeding journey is. Whatever week you're editing this, please. If I don't do that, then thank you for watching our journey. I hope you have an incredible breastfeeding journey yourself, or had an incredible breastfeeding journey. If I don't do the editing, thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe. It means the absolute world to us and the algorithm. Just give me 2 minutes of your time. Just press the little like button, or like a comment, or leave a comment, or do anything. Click on a video at the end of this video. All of that stuff helps the channel so massively. Even just clicking the share button and copying the link, I cannot tell you how much that helps my video be shown to other people. And hopefully we can show somebody else how many different versions of breastfeeding journeys there are, because there are so many different versions. So from May and I, happy week 17 sausage. If you want a detailed update on her, that'll be on my Instagram. We're pumping. We've had a bottle. This is what we do every morning because I have too much milk. This interesting thing going on up here. But I have too much milk on a morning to be able to feed her on me because it just lets down so intensely. But also we use that milk because this is the most amount of milk I have in the day. We do use this milk for topping up feeds during the day. So she's taking 120, up to 120. So between 90 and 120 per feed. This morning I've given her 90. She's slobbering all over me. And then I'm pumping, so let's see how much I got off the pumps this morning. So we have got about 90, I'm gonna say. Let me put it in a Tommy Tippy. We store our milk in the Tommy Tippies. She won't drink from them, so we just use them as storage containers. I'm gonna say 100 from one boob, and I'm gonna say 75 from the other boob. So my left boob doesn't make as much milk. It never has. We've got about 6 ounces in total. Alexa, how many millilitres is 6 ounces?
6 imperial fluid ounces is about 170 milliliters.
Yeah, 170. So this isn't quite enough for 2 feeds. It is worrying me slightly because I was getting 210 on a morning and we've dropped down to 170. I have a good supply, but my supply is very slowly going down. Got a voicemail. I have showered, I've regrayed my hair, I have been able to put a bit of makeup on. I just love my hair this colour. It's a darker grey than normal because I haven't had enough sun on it. I just love it when it's this colour. I will link below what I use for it. But back to breastfeeding. She's on my boob right now. And we always do 3 hours after her first feed of the day. We don't follow a specific routine, but she has got herself into a routine. So she'll normally get up, and there's loads of videos where I talk about this. Oh, the sun's coming out. There's loads of videos where I talk about this. I'll just very quickly say we'd probably do her first feed normally at 6. This morning she did 7, which she does do sometimes. Then 3 hours later we have another feed. 3 hours after that we have another feed. Then we'll normally do a big nap. So then we do 4 hours later. And then 3 hours, and then either 3 or 4 hours, depending on what time of day we're on. I like her last feed to be about 10 p.m. with Daddy, which we'll get to later, but that's our schedule for the day. Now, she's having her milk on me for this feed, which is normal. She always goes on me for the second feed of the day. I half did it without the shield and half did it with the shield, and I will try and do her on both boobs. She started off without the shield, which she's normally pretty good at. What's wrong? Am I talking too much? She's normally pretty good at going on straight away without the shield, which is good because it means that my body gets to communicate with her body. Then about 5 minutes in, she tends to pull off and not go back on again. So at that point we have to put the shield on and then she'll go on fine. And it really varies how long she stays on for depending on the feed. But I keep her on until she starts continually pulling off. And if she's continually pulling off, then we switch boobs. We just did a bottle of milk. I think she took the whole bottle. I warmed 90 up and she drank literally the whole thing. And then I'm going to pump. These, I try and pump twice over the period of the last 3 feeds because I'm just not getting enough, and it seems pointless pumping for 30 minutes to get such a small amount of milk, whereas if I do it twice I get a decent amount of milk. Probably get about 60 off each boob, which per pump, which is better. Then the stuff that is left over is either frozen if she hasn't got enough milk, which I haven't got to that stage yet where she hasn't got enough milk for the day, but I make the morning's feed up before I go to bed. So if for whatever reason there isn't enough milk by the time I go to bed, then I will defrost some ready for the morning. I just pumped again for the final time today. I'm now in bed. Maidie had her feed. I don't know if I updated you on that or not. I don't have the ability to remember everything that I film. I managed to get about 60 off this pump, which is pretty awful. So I had to top it up with the final bit of the remaining milk from this morning and I had to top it up. So I made her milk up for the morning for 90 out of this morning's milk. I then had to top up tonight with the remaining bit of the leftover from this morning and a bit of that 90. So that's now down to about 70 in the fridge. So I must have had 10 ml left. So it was just under 60. I did 10 ml from the Tommy Sippy, and then I did 20 ml from and so basically I've had to take a bag out of the freezer just in case, because I'd rather have too much milk than not enough milk, basically. Although they defrost super quick, it's just worth having it. And then in the morning, if she does her whole 70 ml and is still hungry, then I will give her some more of the stuff that I pump at the time. But we're doing okay. I was just having this conversation with Mike about it. Like, my supply is definitely going down, but I'm also probably not treating my body great, and I have tried to up my water intake, but I have decreased my calorie intake, so that could be having an impact. I'm going to end this video here. So I'm going to send you to outro, Emie, that I filmed today. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully it's been a little bit helpful. I was actually watching clips back from NICU and things. That journey. Anyway, it's supposed to be sunny for the next few days. So I'm going to film later in the week her week 17 update for you. Anyway, outro Emie, roll VT. It's future Emie. I did as I said I was going to do, and here I am recording an update for you. I am recording actually week 24 today, so that's how far ahead we are. I said it'd be coming at about the 6-month mark, didn't I? Now, our breastfeeding journey, my milk just went down. And for the last probably 3 to 4 weeks, I've only been getting one pump of milk off me per day. I did as much as I could to increase it. I just couldn't get it to go up. And we decided that we were just going to let it dwindle to whatever it wanted to dwindle to. I now on the morning will get about 10 ml in half an hour's pump of each boob. And so I have decided that tomorrow is going to be, which I actually am a bit emotional about, tomorrow will be her final feed on me. And then from that, we won't do anything else. I've also been really ill for the past 2 weeks, which I don't think helped. But it really was getting less and less every single time I pumped. I even tried to replace my pumps and power pumping and just everything to try and get my milk supply to go up. The problem we have is that she just won't go on me, so it's such a logistical nightmare trying to get her to feed. And I'm about to go back to work for the summer, working weddings, and I can't be like, sorry, you're gonna have to stop your ceremony because I need to pump, can I? I have such huge regrets about my breastfeeding journey, and part of that goes back to NICU when we put her on the bottle, and my problem is I can't regret it, because in that very moment in time we needed to get out of that hospital, and the only way to get out of the hospital was to put her on a bottle. I just wish that A, they hadn't let us give her a dummy, and B, they had not advised me to use a nipple shield, because I think if I hadn't have used a nipple shield and I'd have carried on trying to get her on me without a shield, she would have gone on me. But with a dummy, a shield, a nipple and a bottle, we were trying to get a premature baby to learn 4 different ways of sucking something. It just was never going to work. So yeah, tomorrow morning will be her very last feed on me. And there comes to the end breastfeeding journey. There's still loads more to talk about in the upcoming videos. This isn't the last time I ever talk about breastfeeding, because it's like basically our whole lives, but it's about to not be a part of our lives at all. She's with her dad having some milk. You'll see that in this week's video. I'm going to hand you over to outro Emie, as I have promised more than once in this video, I think. And I'll see you back here. for another video soon. This is our very last feed. She won't come be like this again. There's nothing coming out of there. While I've got you at the end of this video, I just very quickly wanted to say thank you for being here as always. It means the absolute world to me. Please like and subscribe. I may have already said that to you, but I'm just saying it to you again. Also, if you're interested in my weight loss journey, how I'm doing on losing my weight right now, and how I managed to do it before, I have a subscription over on Instagram that I would love you to join. Mady is wanting to chat to you too. I have a link below to my website where I do limited drops of art prints. If there's anything available right now, I never know if there is or not on them because this is pre-recorded. So if there are some available, you'll be able to find them in the link below. There are 2 videos here that you can go and watch next. You click here if you want to subscribe. But I'd love you to join me on Instagram. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in a few days for another video. Okay, love you, bye.